Manic Monday. It's gonna be a magic Monday.
Hey, welcome to another Magic Monday. I am your sugar-free, keto-ish sweetie, Jacqueline. You might be wondering, why is she wearing makeup? I thought Magic Mondays were supposed to be,
A look.
well, I'm actually recording this on Halloween, and we're actually just getting home, so it's technically Monday. The reason I'm recording this topic today on Halloween is because
Before I get into it,
guess who I was for Halloween? If you guessed anything but Selena,
You're wrong.
I dressed up as Selena this year for Halloween, and my husband dressed up as El Chico del Apartamento 512. We saw a picture online and we wanted to do it together because I already wanted to be Selena. So I decided 2 weeks ago that this year I was going to be Selena for Halloween. And I did it because, well, one, I'm a fan, obviously. Also, because with the weight loss that I was having, I just started to get all this confidence. I thought, oh, I'm really liking how I feel. I finally reached 40 pounds lost on keto, and I was just getting excited. I was like, I don't know, in my head,
I don't think that I thought that I'm skinny or anything extra like that, but
I did feel, 40 pounds, come on. So I did feel a lot more confident, a lot more just comfortable in my body. And I was like, I want to be something awesome. I was in between Pocahontas and Selena. So about a couple of days ago, when the day's obviously getting closer and I'm thinking of what look to go with, I wanted to make something very Selena. And I was looking up her different outfits and her looks and stuff like that. I started to be like,
oh, I don't look like that.
which brings me to the whole point of this video. I was super excited to be the weight that I am now, to have lost that weight. And from the weight that I was before my kids, I'm still a good maybe 30 pounds away from where I was, because I was never your skinny girl. I was never your, you know, super athletic or anything like that. I always had a lot of mental struggles,
um, that's a whole nother story.
but
I started to get cold feet.
about dressing up. Today I decided, like today on Halloween, that I was gonna wait until next year. Next year I'll be another, you know, 50 pounds lighter. I'll feel even more confident next year, and I'll feel thinner next year, and I'll live next year. And something just hit me as I was preparing my kids' costumes, preparing, for the day. We had a game day with our family. Go Cowboys, they won. As the time kind of grew near, I just started to feel like, well, what if, God forbid, I'm not here next year, or the circumstances are different next year? Why am I going to wait to live until I'm a certain weight? Why am I going to wait for a specific number to start to live? And honestly, it brought me back to my costume, which is Selena, and she was cut short in her life. And I was like 7, I think, whenever that happened. But from what I have seen from their family, their interviews, stuff like that, she was somebody that was like always on the move, always like, you gotta live now, you gotta live now, you have to live now. I'm now 33 years old. So I'm now 10 years older than she was when she passed away. So I'm blessed with a decade longer already. And I'm living my life like, oh, it's not perfect enough. I'm not perfect enough. I don't look the way that I want to look before I'm happier, before I decide to live a certain way. So finally, I got the stuff that I kind of had in mind for the look. I just wanted to say that we shouldn't wait to do the things that we want to do. I'm not saying to do things that are like bad or illegal or anything like that, but we shouldn't wait to enjoy the little things. You know, if I would have just opted out this year, because last year I did. Last year I wanted to dress up.
And the year before that, I wanted to dress up. And the year before that.
So the last 3 years, I had these ideas. And I remember in 2018 when I lost 25 pounds in like 7 months, I think. That year, 27 pounds. And I was like, oh, yes, I feel good. I was counting calories. I wasn't really watching what I was eating too much, but like I was counting calories. So I did lose weight slowly and I was working out every single day. So I felt stronger, and I, even though it wasn't as much weight as it is now, I did feel stronger and I did feel more confident. So those years too, I was like, I'm gonna dress up as, Pocahontas. I love Pocahontas. I had all these visions in my head of how I was going to spend a certain holiday, or, a certain party, or even for my birthday. I had this vision in my head of how I was going to dress, and I ended up putting on an oversized t-shirt because I wasn't comfortable. And my mind was just like, I'm going to wait until I lose a little bit of weight. Okay, well, and now I lost 40 pounds, but yet I was still like, this isn't good enough, because I don't look. I mean, look at Selena. She was gorgeous. She was beautiful. She had the perfect body. And if I can't look like that, I'm not gonna enjoy the day until I look like that. And that's unrealistic. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's unpromised.
I don't even know if that's a word.
But it's not promised. I mean, tomorrow is not promised. It's in the good book. It's in the Bible. Tomorrow is promised to no one. So if I would have waited and I don't have a next year, the memories that I made today, I wouldn't have made them. So I don't want to continue to do that. I don't want to not wear a certain outfit because, oh, I have a little jelly roll. I don't want to just not post the picture because, my double chin is showing in that picture. I don't want to cover my face when somebody that loves me wants to snap that picture. I don't want to wait until I think I'm like filter ready, or until I'm like this image of perfection, because it's never gonna happen. I've had 3 kids. I've had, I think it was like 12 surgeries. Like, my body's never going to look like a Barbie doll. It's just not, and that's fine. This body was knit together in my mother's womb. This body is the body that holds every drop of love that my husband has for me. This is the body that carried our family, and this is the body that carries me, my soul, my spirit, my person, who I am. And I mean, there's gonna be people that, talk trash. There's always gonna be people that are like, oh, well, this isn't good enough about you, and that's not good enough about you. But the problem is, they know they're not perfect. And it's better to shine the light on you and your imperfections than to just accept themselves for who they are. Because you could easily shine the light back at their flaws and hurt their feelings back, but then there's just two hurt people. Or you could just accept the person that you are, strive to be as healthy and as happy and as much of a blessing as you can be, and that's it. That's how we glorify God. I mean, his 2 commandments are super simple: love him with all your heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. So if I love God, then I'm going to honor the body that he gave me. If I love him, I'm going to honor the sacrifice that he made for me to be free. If I love my neighbor as I love myself, that means that I love myself the way that God calls me to love myself. And that's not in the sense of like giving myself all these pleasures and thinking of myself as better than anybody else. That's more of, you're fearfully and wonderfully made. You are created for a specific reason. There's a purpose. You were thought of. You're not a mistake. And you have only today. So we should live today. Today is the day that the Lord has made. We should be able to enjoy the day. We should be able to glorify God with the way that we walk through the day. And we do that by shining a light on people. We do that by being a light in people's darkness, because today, like, somebody else could be walking around with their head hung low. Somebody else could have not dressed up today because I'm not talking about convictions and like, oh, they don't believe in Halloween. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people that maybe they wanted to dress up today, but they were like, I'm too skinny, or I'm too fat, or I'm too ugly, or I'm too light skin, or I'm too dark skin, or I'm too you're you. And God thought up every single cell in your body. When you think about dimples and the fact that they're flaws and not actually beauty marks. It's because the muscles, like there's a space between your muscle and causes a dimple. It's a flaw, and it's a flaw that we have turned around and turned it into, wow, that's beautiful. Oh, she has dimples. Like my daughter was born with a dimple. The day that she was born, the nurse was like, oh my God, she has a little dimple, because she was trying to tell me that when they nurse, if you see a dimple on their cheek, they're not doing it right. So she thought she wasn't doing it right because she had a big old dimple in her cheek. And then whenever she saw her like whining and crying and she saw that the dimple was still there, she was like, she was born with a little dimple. It's the cutest thing ever, but in reality, it's a flaw. And God thought of every single flaw in our person. And I'm not just talking about superficial flaws. He thought of, your quirkiness, the awkward sense of humor, the way you get nervous when you want to give somebody a compliment, but you do it anyway. This magical Monday is turning out to be super magical because I didn't just sit in my feelings. I didn't just sit in what I thought people were going to perceive me as. And I took that step of just, you know what, I'm going to live today. I want to dress up as Selena, and I'm gonna be Selena for the day. And my husband is that cutie pie from apartment 512. And we had a blast with our family. The Cowboys won. The night is awesome.
We had some burger patties with cheese and lettuce and tomato and mustard and some keto mac sauce.
That everybody liked except for you, Nora, if you watch this. I could have missed out waiting for the perfect size, waiting for the perfect number, waiting for the perfect whatever. But the thing is, I had to get in the perfect mindset so that I could just dress up and show up. That wraps it up for this magical Monday. I didn't keep the look because I'm in character. Bye.